We are on air, everybody. Welcome to the 11th and possibly final working meeting of the Willow Park Home Rule Charter Commission. Hope there's a lot of people online. We have a few people here tonight. Again, has anybody signed up to speak? Ms. Palmer.
Am I supposed to speak?
Well, no, let's pray in and get started first, okay? Thank you.
Heavenly Father, thank you for these wonderful people that have given so much of their free time for a very noble job. Thank you for your guidance, helping us make this a much better city. The citizens' participation that will be incredible in years to come. Thank you for your love, your kindness. In Jesus' name we pray.
Join me in the pledge to this great country that gives us so many blessings. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Thank you. Now, we get to that part where we have public comment, and Ms. Palmer,
Am I it?
you're it.
Right. Okay. Okay. So I want to sincerely thank the members of the Home Rule Commission for their time, dedication, and hard work in completing our city charter. This was no small task, and your commitment to our community will have a lasting impact. On behalf of the city, thank you for serving with such care and professionalism. And at this time, I want to ask for prayers for the city of Willow Park and for our mayor. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. So we everybody got the minutes from our last meeting, January 14th. Does anybody have any comment, correction, addition, deletion, anything? Okay. Also sent January 7th minutes back up. I know we looked at them and everybody said they were okie dokie, but I just wanted to clarify that the previous agenda did not identify them as being from January 7th. It identified them as being from January 6th. So we are going to dot that I and cross that T. I'd like to have a motion to approve both sets. So all in favor? Thank you all. Okay. Oh, and anybody that's watching online, I did have them post these slides. They're on the website under boards and commissions. Find the link to the Home Rule Charter Commission, and you should be able to find the charts that are for January 21st. So some of the information that we're going to be looking at, the details of changes, are embedded in these charts. I've done that as best I could. Some of it's, well, if the commissioners make recommendations for change, I cannot put those into the charts. Sorry. Okay. Next on the agenda is to review our schedule. Our schedule is getting shorter and shorter. We have the meeting today, and we have the plan to submit the charter to the city council next Tuesday, January 27th, at their next meeting. I don't know. I've looked at what was for the agenda relative to the Home Rule Charter Commission. I don't know if the agenda will allow the city council to actually add the charter to the election that they ordered at their last meeting. If not, then they will have to have that on their agenda for February 10th, because the deadline to place things on the ballot for May is February 13th, that's Friday. Okay, any questions on that?
They're obligated to put this on the ballot, and if they don't, what is the recourse?
No, I'm gonna answer that a different way. When President Nixon went to China, Henry Reasoner went with him. And he drove around a lot of places, and he asked the driver one time when they went by a sign, "What does that sign say?" And he said, "That's a speed limit sign." And Harry asked him, said, "Well, what's the penalty for going over the speed limit?" And the driver said, "That's the speed limit." He didn't understand the question, because you don't go over the speed in China. Anyway, I don't think that the city council has, they can't go over the speed limit. I don't think they can not put the charter on the ballot. I think
Fritz,
Andy Messer addressed that.
Fritz,
Yes. You want me to answer that question?
Well, you could
I mean,
just say, good, Mr. Messer already answered it
Yes, Andy has already answered that question.
in the affirmative.
In the information.
And if they fail to do so,
And again, I don't think you can go over the speed limit.
Let's not, we don't have to answer that question. And
I want to know what our
I'm
options
glad
are
to
if the
have
city
full power.
council doesn't do its duty. What can we do? Where do we go?
Well, that becomes a real problem, and I'm not gonna play what if with it tonight, because I don't know how to answer it. I mean, we could talk about it for a long time, but there's no solution available to us tonight.
I just want to make sure that we're going to be willing to do what it has to do if it's not put on the ballot.
Well, we will certainly have to find out what the options are, and at this point, I don't know that there is a need to know what those options are. I would certainly hope there is not a need for any such options. I mean, I don't foresee that.
I understand. I'm just the type of person who hopes for the best, but prepares for the worst, and I'm ready to take action for the worst if it happens.
Right.
And knowing what that worst is.
Yeah, okay, noted. Thank you. Now, I do know that the council would have two basic obligations. Append the charter on the ballot for everybody to vote on. And in order for everybody to be equally informed, mail a copy to every registered voter in Willow Park. And you'll see on this schedule that says to be determined, because we don't know when. That's a process that will have to be fine, and it's not our process to define. Okay. Once that mailing is implemented, and I'm really seriously afraid that there's 80% of the city that doesn't have any idea, has not even heard that we are doing this. Okay. And once that hits the mailboxes, I'm expecting that there should be a need for us to run the pre-scheduled town hall meetings to provide answers, because people should have questions. Okay. And we have scheduled February 19th, a Thursday, March 5th, a Thursday, and April 7th, a Tuesday, to conduct town hall meetings, all at the gracious hosting of the Willow Park Baptist Church. Okay. Other than that, early voting starts the 20th of April. I'm not sure what the end date is. Those details will be on the Parker County election official site in several weeks. And election day, of course, is May 2nd. Okay. Yes, ma'am?
So it's my understanding that the state law requires that voters receive the charter at least 30 days prior to the vote,
I believe
meaning
that's
prior to
correct.
April 20.
Now, there's a good question.
Thanks.
That is a good question. I mean, all the timelines that I've seen worked out essentially counted back from the election day.
If we wanted to capitalize on town hall meetings in that regard, is it?
I agree. So right now, what we have calendared is we need to have the mailings out for April the 1st. But you raise a good point. Maybe even if it's not required by law, it would be a good idea to mail it well before April the 1st to make sure it's in everybody's mailbox before early voting. So I
Thank you.
can run that like
There's also a practical reality of it will take some time to make sure that we have the current proper list of registered voters. They'll have to pick a date for that because it changes constantly. And I don't know what the process is for picking the date for who by law needs to be on the list. And then it has to be printed and packaged. So, yeah, it's a fair, difficult process, okay?
Layers to the onion.
Yes.
And the person that would be peeling that onion, would that be the city secretary?
yes. I believe that's how it's outlined in state.
Okay, with assistance from city attorney's office, other staff.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's, city secretary is gonna do that ourselves.
No, I get it, I get
Okay.
it. I was just making sure that we had a one point of contact. If folks wanted to volunteer to help, if it's not gonna, if any legwork is needed, there's probably people that will chip in.
Well, I would hope that, and trust me, I know everybody has put a lot of effort into this, a lot of time. I certainly will be willing to assist the city in any way to get any detail done. Okay. So, okay, moving on to the next slide.
My
Yes, ma'am.
question. Let's assume that, let's assume that we do send well, it really doesn't matter no matter when we end up sending out, or the city ends up sending out the mailer. It's a long time from April the 7th until May 2nd. And while I understand that early voting will have started on the 20th of April, does it nonetheless make sense for us to consider having another town hall closer to the election when hopefully more people will be thinking about what they receive?
Sure.
Personally think, I don't know how well it would be attended, but I think we ought to seriously consider one more town hall reasonably close to the actual election. Knowing that by then, maybe some people will already.
Okay, well, I think that a town hall after early voting starts is possibly useful. But I don't think it's time to schedule something like that this week.
Okay, that's fine. I just put that as a suggestion.
One thing I think would be helpful is that we have a lot of people who can't go to town hall meetings, or possibly don't want to go to town hall meetings, but they would still have questions. To me, there's nothing wrong in a number of us getting on Zoom and having a community-wide Zoom meeting. We put that out to people on the website. If you want to ask questions, and we can take questions online in a Zoom process and let people ask questions. Then we can take that recording from the administrator of the Zoom meeting can record that session, and we can put that on the city website that people can see.
No, that's
That's
another
great.
good idea,
Yeah.
okay? And, well, the videos from all these meetings, and the town halls that we've held are already available,
Yes.
okay? So part of it would be, and I don't know to what extent the supporting information that went into this charter is produced can be distributed along with the charter to tell people what resources are available to go look at. But I think we ought to look at that also. Okay. Okay. Any other things, agenda schedule wise? Okay. Next item was to resolve comments from the city attorney's legal review. We went through all the comments that I was able to package up prior to the meeting on January 14th. And immediately after that meeting, I sent a message to the city attorney requesting that they identify any comments that we missed that had a legal bearing on the validity of the charter. And also to provide, I wasn't sure whether they were going to look at it or not, but to provide any comments on the comments generated from Councilmember Wright. And I requested that they all be, that those answers be given to us by the close of business on Friday, January 16th. And at 4:57 p.m., Friday, January the 16th, I received a message from Mr. Fritz on behalf of the city attorney. And he did identify that there was only one change out of everything I'd asked about. And that specifically was to address one item out of the 15 pages Councilmember Wright submitted. And it affected section 402A. That's on the next slide. Recommendation was to modify section 402 under personnel system to read under merit principle, consistent with all applicable federal and state laws, appointments and promotions of city officers and employees shall be made on the basis of merit and fitness demonstrated by a valid and reliable examination of other evidence of competence. And that's simply adding in a reference to federal and state law and removing the word solely. My opinion is that's straightforward, very reasonable, and your opinion on it is
Let's do it.
comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And one other comment from the legal review that we did not actually, as I'm going through the red lines, I discovered we did not actually address. And that was that under section 902, subsection A, activities prohibited, there are 3 references associated that start with the phrase no person. And the comment was that in these contexts, that no person is possibly overly broad. Okay. My opinion on this. In the first section, no person shall be appointed to or removed from or in any way favored or discriminated against with respect to any city position or appointed city administrative office because of race, gender, age, sex, familial status, disability, religion, county of origin, or political affiliation. Well, when I look at that, I think that since that is all having to do with any city position or appointed city administrative office, I think that specifically limits to whom no person is a reference. Personal opinion. In subsection 2, no person shall willfully make any false statement, certificate, mark, rating, or report in regard to any test, certification, or appointment under the provisions of this charter. The provision under the provisions of this charter slightly limit that. But there may still be some uncertainty as to who it might apply to. In the third case, no person shall knowingly or willfully solicit or assist in soliciting any assessment, subscription, or contribution for any political party or political purpose to be used in conjunction with any city election from any city officer or city employee. Well, that would mean that Carol, for instance, couldn't go to the receptionist here in the building and ask a political question. I don't think the charter can mandate that. But looking at it, there should probably be some prohibition of a city officer or city employee from doing anything for a political purpose in their role representing the city. Okay, based on that, any comment, question? Okay,
Like thinking back to section 4.02. Doesn't that section, as I recall, mostly deal with the appointment process? Whether having to do with city employees becoming employed or people being elected or people being appointed to boards and commissions and stuff like that. Am I right about that?
it largely,
Okay. So if the section deals with the process of appointment, let's call it that, but just for broad purposes, would, if there's a serious concern about no person being too broad, would the phrase no applicant shall be appointed?
Okay, well, let's move on to the next slide.
Okay.
Because Dave gave me some thoughts on this, and here is a proposal for how we might rewrite those things, avoiding the no person wording.
Altogether.
Okay. So all appointments to or removal from any city position or commission shall not discriminate based on race, gender, age, familial status, disability, religion, country of origin, or political status. Does that capture it?
I think that sounds great.
Okay. 2, knowingly giving false information, such as statements, documents about any test, certification, or appointment covered by this charter is strictly prohibited. Do we need to add anything to that? I mean, that would be giving false information from the perspective of you have the authority to actually have an input to said test, certification, or appointment. But I don't know that we need to add that. Just trying to be complete. Okay, while you think about that. Number 3, no city official or employee in their capacity as a representative of the city shall knowingly or willfully solicit or assist in soliciting any assessment, subscription, or contribution to any political party or political purpose to be used in conjunction with any city election.
What does it mean to be,
I like it. Sorry.
in their capacity as a representative of the city? Well, if you're a member of the city council, if you go to Walmart and you gripe somebody out, you are still a city councilman who gripes somebody out. If you're getting money for a political party, you're still a member of the city council getting money from somebody. So if you're the city manager, you're doing the same thing. They could be out mowing the yard in shorts and t-shirt and they're not in city capacity, but they can still do all of that. And people will identify them as part of the city and may see that there is retribution if they don't help.
There's a difference in doing something in the discharge of your duty
Mhm.
and in the fact that you are cloaked in,
Understand?
and I don't think, I'm not aware of any government that tries to that does more than try and circumscribe what is done in the discharge of duty. Because I think at some point,
That's difficult.
well, because if you try and do more than that, you run smack dab into the Constitution.
Well, federal employees can't put a campaign sign up in their yard because of the Hatch Act.
That's a very specific act that relates solely to federal employees.
I understand that, but this is, I'm just.
No, I
I'm
hear
just
what you're
throwing
saying.
something out here that I think that needs a little bit of a deeper scrub than just.
Well, there are already elements in the Texas Election Code that prohibit, for instance, city resources, city funding to be used in conjunction with any political advertising activity.
Right.
And I appreciate the nuance that you're bringing up, but there is a distinction between an elected official doing things as an elected official and that same person doing things as a private citizen.
I'm just throwing it out there for possible discussion.
I was on the city council myself for a few years. And so I am quite sensitive to the difference there. That I had to be very careful that when I gave my opinion about a political thought, I did not do so in conjunction of representing the city.
Right.
Okay. That's just, that should be the mindset of everybody involved. That's all I can say. And I don't think we can fix that in the charter.
That would make that too cumbersome. Yeah.
Sorry. But again, I appreciate the nuance. So, looking at these things, are these the words that would, well, let me ask Fritz. First off, it was a comment from Susan that I'm addressing here. And her basic comment was, again, overly broad. Have we narrowed this down to where it basically says the same thing and seems clearer?
Yes, I think these, if not perfectly, we're heading in the right direction. And
Okay.
I honestly don't know that I have any comments, especially on. Oh, of course. Okay, if we want to talk about 3, because that's what we most recently talked about, that's what's on my mind. There are lots of city ordinances that take this up. And local laws, and you're talking about the Hatch Act, and that's been attacked many times. Thing here is we want to at least give the public the impression, rightly so, that the government is impartial when it comes to elections, when they're acting as the government.
Right.
So You know, there are a lot of city ordinances and personal policies out there that talk about, you know, you can't campaign literature, you can't go to campaign events in uniform if you're a police officer. And so that line that we're trying to reach with number 3, it's where the First Amendment goes in there to keep number 3 from stifling speech is pretty well litigated. So
Okay.
I'm comfortable with the language you have in 3.
Everybody good?
Yes.
Any dissent?
Nope.
Okay. I think I'm gonna switch from the slides now to pull up the actual document. Let me check a couple of things here. Yeah, because these things, 3 slides down are all in the red lines. Let's see, make sure. What version here. And. Nope, wrong folder. I was about to get really worried. Um, Okay. So. There's several cleanup items and a few specifics that we need to talk about. First one is in the introduction. There's an error in there. Currently, it says the City of Willow Park was incorporated in 963. And I think that might have been early. So I added the 1, and then I added an and has been operating as a type A general law city. And then I revised the next sentence to say the city population was formally declared to exceed 5,000 residents in October 2016 by resolution number 1716. This population level was required to enable Willow Park to become a home rule city. And part of the reason I did that is when at the last council meeting, I referenced that it was formally declared in 2016, and the city manager said she couldn't find any reference to it. So I looked it up, and that was October 11th, 2016. So I thought that might be a useful addition here. Any comment?
I like it.
It's fine.
Incorporate? All good?
Aye.
Charlie? Aye.
Was there a more recent, there was also another resolution, I believe it was in the summer? Or did I dream that? I could have.
I think in the council meeting, I think I referenced March 2016. And then I looked it up and I realized that it was actually October 11th.
But I thought before the mayor appointed the commission even, the
You're right.
another resolution.
This is the earliest I know of that we were formally recognized to be over 5,000.
I'm okay with that language being in there.
Right.
And it doesn't overrule a more recent, and
Oh, no.
so.
In
That's fine.
fact, my understanding is if you hit 5,000, you are eligible to go to home rule, even if you fall below 5,000
If you adopt a home rule charter. You can.
before you fall below.
But you need to
Okay.
adopt it at the time of the election needs to be.
Okay, good clarification. Okay, and I want to come back to this one. I don't have any red lines in the preamble, but I want us to look at that explicitly. I mean, it's not essential to the charter itself. It really doesn't have any sway or effect. But I'd like us to spend a few minutes and make sure that we agree it's correct also. Okay? But for the time being, well, no, let me go back. I'm going,
But I think one thing that makes that important is that every single person that gets this is going to read that,
well, yeah,
you know, and I think it should have the right messages in it.
well, that's what I want to do. Absolutely.
So we do that.
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
It says, in order to secure the benefits of a local self-government, provide an honest and accountable city manager government. I thought this was called council manager.
We're not to the preamble yet,
We're not,
but
yeah, but that's.
Let's come back to the preamble. There's two other things we need to look at, okay? So. Not, yeah. 2.02.02 public property. We had changed up in 2.01 language that talks about promoting the health, safety, and general welfare of the city. And down here in 2.0202, there is the same basic language that we changed from before. I'm thinking that for consistency, we ought to adopt the same health, safety, and general welfare.
I agree.
Everybody's good?
Yeah.
Not voting.
Okay. See, make sure I hit the right buttons. And then here, we have a long list of stuff that was the words purchasing, condemning should be separated by a comma, and we're not. I have simply put the comma in there. In 3.02B, eligibility for reelection. Reelection without a hyphen is not a word. So, any objection to putting hyphen in there? Done. I ran a search on this to see if we've used the word council member, that being one word anywhere else. We didn't.
I like it all. I vote for it 3 or 4 times.
Thank you.
You guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so I'm inserting a space between the words council and member. Everybody good?
Yep.
Okay. I think this was a leftover from our previous discussion about taking city attorney or out of the candidate file vote. The city secretary shall review the application with guidance of. And we simply said other city staff.
We got
Is
an
that
extra
correct?
"the" in there. We got an extra "the" in there.
Before you.
Guidance of other cities. Scoot over a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more.
Right there.
By the
There
way,
you go. I think that's an extra "the."
Yep.
Okay.
with the guidance of the, so.
Other cities.
Doing this right. Okay. This one's a little more complicated, and we might have to come back to it, but I think I'll spend a minute on it so you start thinking about it. Action on initiative and referendum. The thing that brought this to my attention was a comment that, well, I forget what the comment was. Can pull it up, but anyway, what it says is copies of the proposed or referred ordinance or the referred resolution shall be made available at the polls and shall be published at least once in the official newspaper of the city, not more than 15 days immediately prior to the date of the election. And after reading that, there's a few things wrong with it. First off, I'm not sure why you are limiting to being just over 2 weeks before an election that you would be allowed to publish it. So I'd be changing not more than to not less than 15 days. And it may be more than 15 days. But the other thing is, it says publish the ordinance that is objected to in the city paper. I would at most want the caption of an ordinance posted in the paper.
Fritz, what does the statute say?
So this is on initiative and referendum default, so there's no state law that says anything, so.
See, okay. And it doesn't currently say anything about posting it on the city website. Well, I think we ought to add that, change the newspaper thing to by caption and make it a mandatory at least 2 weeks before an election. And sanely, it ought to be as much advanced as you can as far as posting on the website. Okay.
So
And in section A, there is a sentence that says, a proposed initiative ordinance, if council doesn't do what they're required to by either initiative or referendum, then it shall submit the proposed or referred ordinance or the referred resolution to the voters of the city. And after thinking about that, I'm thinking, what does that mean? I think it means order an election to ratify or deny the petition.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, not sure why it took me so long to catch that one.
A lot of reading.
What it is?
That's a good catch.
Okay, so you're all good with that one, right?
Yeah.
Fritz?
I also approve.
I mean, unless, did somebody tell me what the thing about submit the proposed thing to the voters? If there's another way to do that other than by election,
No.
I'd kind of like to know.
I have never dealt with a successful initiative or referendum petition.
A successful one?
I have litigated whether they're allowed, but I've never had to draft the proposition, so.
Okay. Well, that just goes to, you really need a just cause to make that
Happen.
right. Okay. Okay, I want to come back to this thing in B about how we word that though, okay?
I think the changes you made are perfect.
Why do we need to come back?
Why come back to it? I think your changes are just fine.
Okay.
Shall be.
I think we're good. Yeah. I mean,
No, that's good.
one time I wrote 8,000 lines of code and I tested it 2 months because I couldn't find anything wrong with it. Come on.
And making yourself.
Now we have Okay. Oh yeah. Under 706, the city council may only amend an adopted budget in accordance with state law. I had left a note in there about a notification process. We didn't come up with a notification process. Unless somebody can pull one out of their pocket right now, I'm going to delete that note and leave it to state law.
Leave it to state law, sir.
Fritz, is it normal in charters to just simply say, may only amend an adopted budget in accordance with law without any kind of ongoing
And, you know, sometimes, yes, it happens. That's what it should say in the absence of anything.
Okay.
Yes. And that's
Okay,
okay.
done.
Well, let me make sure my question was, is that best practice?
So, yes, sometimes those provisions are in charters because there's this big, long, local mess of a thing that was in there about that particular subject matter. But then state law came into being
Preempted.
that kind of preempted it instead of just surgically making it.
That was it. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure that
Yeah.
if we leave it at per state law, not only are we complying with the statute, but we are also being consistent with what at least is currently considered best practice.
Yes.
Good, thank you.
Okay. I had an input that suggested a change under capital improvement plan. B sub-item 6, the estimated annual cost of operating and maintaining the facilities to be constructed or acquired. And the change was to add and associated capital assets, if any. If you're going to construct something new, there may be an accompanying list of capital assets required for that project. And I think it's a good addition to identify that that's something you ought to be mindful of.
I agree with you. Is there a way to add perhaps a parenthetical that would maybe explain a little bit about what that means? Something like such as, or whatever. Of what a common associated capital asset would be. Because
The
I
danger of putting an example is it can not only be useful in identifying what might be, it could be treated as exclusionary to say
which is why you say including but not limited to.
why. Well, and that's why it says if any,
Understood, understood.
because a lot of times a project will not have any associated capital
Absolutely.
assets.
Some do, some don't.
So if you need a track or something to maintain the facility or an extra mower or something like that. Is that what you're talking about?
No, so, that was mine. So what I was talking about is if we put in a new sewage treatment plant. And we have a control system or large pumps, right? At least like in, I'll say at work, anything over $5,000 is classified as capital. Okay, and it has to be logged and chronicled and tracked, etc. So you can build a facility, but you may fill it with a high dollar, level machinery or equipment that has to be maintained over time. And that capital improvement plan needs to include that in their budgetary estimate on what the ongoing cost is going to be relative to maintaining whatever we're talking
I can give you any, he just said like.
Yeah.
You're putting in a new sewer line, but you have to put a lift station in, okay. Are you, in your plan, are you going to include a power backup system for the pump stick, for the lift? Necessary. It's an add-on. No, that kind of thing, yeah.
I'm not at all arguing. I think that's an excellent catch. But I'm just, as we ask citizens to read this, and some of them actually might,
I hope.
I'd like to think that somebody would see associated capital assets and not capture that, what that means.
I started to add a section of definitions. Okay, and there's only one definition in it currently. I don't want it to become exhaustive. I think in that section, I reference Webster's as the go-to.
Yep.
So,
See, I don't know what the city has relative from a financial standpoint, what their definition of a capital asset is. You know, is it a dollar level, you know, and also from an accounting standpoint, how do they categorize that as, you know? a
You know, they
capital
have,
asset?
they are subject to certain public,
Exactly.
you know, whatever the city version of GAAP is.
Right.
And that certainly defines associate.
and I would not put a dollar in here because
No.
No, no.
50 years from now, that dollar
Right.
may be worth 10 cents,
Associate.
relatively speaking. Okay? And so Carol, are we good or what?
I'm gonna look up other words that are like associated, because I think maybe that's.
Okay, well, let me see if, while you're doing that, let me see if we have more stuff to look at here. Oh, I didn't take that out. I didn't put those, I will have to put those changes in. Um, okay. Well, I think we're about to go back into that loop. So y'all are good with the changes in 608A.
Yes.
Well, before we go on, I already mentioned this and nobody said anything. Is 2 weeks enough prior to the date of an election to have things posted? Unless we say prior to the start of early voting.
If you don't put in anything about early voting, then the question becomes, is early voting date the start of the election?
And it's still a great question. And there's some people that want to do away with early voting, so it might go away. So I don't want to,
Make a notation of early voting. I think that's a good idea. Make it clear. I mean, people shouldn't be going to the polls and not having the benefit of the posting.
okay, so 15 days
Prior to the start of the election.
prior to the first available day to vote in an election.
Yeah,
Yep.
perfect. Because then if they change state law and remove early voting,
It's still
then
there.
It is still there.
it's still there and we don't have to mess with the charter.
So do we need immediately prior? 15 days,
I'd just say before.
I'm sorry,
I'd just say before.
The first day.
before the
First, date of the election, right?
well, not exactly,
Day of voting.
first day available
To vote in an election.
To cast ballots in person,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good point.
because
Ballots are now.
there could be mailing and all that jazz.
Yep.
Thank you.
Excellent call, attorney.
Learn to keep some.
Yes, you are. Yes, we will keep you. In person. Don't drop them off. Panel.
Not less than 15 days before the first day available to cast a ballot,
In
In
person.
person.
to
Can't take that.
Cast an in-person
Yeah.
ballot in the election.
person.
Yeah, that's.
in the
In the election.
Okay,
There you go.
Can we go back to the previous one? What would you guys think about using the word related instead of associated?
That's all.
I feel better about that.
okay, where am I looking now? Sorry.
Back up at the part about
Capital
capital assets,
Associated, yeah.
Oh,
related
that-
instead of associated capital assets. I may be a retired lawyer, but sometimes it just pops out.
It is capital plan.
One in my.
It was 707-6 or 707-6. There you go.
The,
Mm-hmm.
so what were you saying?
Take out associated and put in related instead.
Well, that's nice.
Okay,
We'll have a discussion about how many angels can dance on the head of a pin.
no, I'm not gonna bore you with that one. Okay, I'm not sure that there's any more track change in here. Other than these three that are, yeah. Oh,
Accepting that.
Okay. Well, Fritz, are we doing okay, do you think?
Absolutely.
And then you gotta put the new language into 9.0
Yes.
that we have approved earlier.
9.02 then. Which is right here.
Here.
Okay, so let me see what other things there are. Oh, preamble.
Did we talk
Well, we're gonna go talk about the preamble. I'm sorry.
about this? Maybe I did.
Yeah, we went through that.
Okay, great. I guess I fell asleep.
Yeah, that one didn't take long. Let me-
He did fall asleep, or some drool on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did. Last meeting.
That's what I thought, but it was in your PowerPoint for tonight, so that's where I
That,
got.
that slide was
confused.
supposed to have been
We're
deleted.
Okay, now we're on the same page.
Right, okay. So back to the preamble then. Does anybody have any input that they would like us to consider in the language that's in the current preamble?
Yes, we are a council manager form of government, not a city manager.
Council.
I sent you something. Gene, did you get that?
I've gotten a lot of stuff. I may have missed something from you. I think I try to keep it all straight.
Intentionally great.
Okay. Oh, to the preamble? I'm sorry if I missed that, but yeah, no, that one's an important.
See how your memory's doing.
It's awesome.
Any other comments on the preamble?
Yeah, let's let David call up his. See what's new with the king.
I was just going to strong political leadership.
Yep.
I would strong political representation.
I would go with just strong leadership. Because leadership applies both to the elected council people and to the city staff members. And also to appointees to boards and commissions.
So the recommendation is. I'm gonna turn this on so we don't lose stuff.
Especially
That
since
one
this
is
is,
accepted.
since this is a non-partisan, we've made a decision that our elections will be non-partisan.
Um. Well, did we do that? Under general law, if you run for city council, you are actually disallowed from claiming membership in a party or another. I thought we had discussed that while we are not requiring partisan participation, that we would not disallow that. That if you want to claim that you're part of the Green Party, then feel free to do so.
I recall a very spirited discussion about partisan versus non-partisan.
Mhm.
And I thought we came down on the side of non.
We did,
We didn't.
but we didn't say anything about your advertising.
No, that's true, and that's fine.
Which is what I'm
that's
talking
all-
about.
And that's all he's talking about. is the
Okay, so that's what
advertising.
you, okay, then I'm fine with that, but I do think that since we are not mandating partisan, especially since we are not mandating partisan elections, I do think that
Go.
we are
Since-
seeking strong leadership in all forms.
Yep.
And
I
everybody. is
believe
supposed
if
to-
we are silent on it, then it's allowed
Okay,
in this case, because
okay, that's fine.
the state law, general law provision would not apply to us.
That's right, and the state law disallows.
Okay? Did you find the thing, Dave?
I got it here.
Well, you can read it.
Well, I can, I'm not sure that it's the essence of it. Thought I'd just show you the essence. So it's a little bit easier to read. And the one thing I wanted to add in here is in a manner that ensures citizens have the opportunity to have a stronger voice in government.
That would be in addition to a sentence.
Yeah, and see, it's all run together, so mine's separated a little bit, in
Okay.
slightly different words, but
Does every preamble have to begin with "we the people"? I mean, it's not really original.
I like this. Named after is.
To answer your
from the
question,
Declaration of Independence.
Yes, I know. And that was the preamble of the Declaration, I'm saying.
Charlie, to answer your question, no.
Okay, thank you. Just ask.
No, that won't work.
so you, like I said, it was just a suggestion.
Do we want to read it so we can?
Okay, we the people of the city of Wolf Park, acting under the Constitution and laws of the state of Texas and the United States of America, adopt this home rule charter to provide effective, responsive, and accountable local government. Though through this charter, we grant the city the authority necessary for self-government and establish the structure and procedures by which our municipal power shall be exercised in a manner that ensures citizens have the opportunity to have a stronger voice in their government.
Then second change.
Hold on.
Not in that one.
Yeah.
There's slow words.
Well, let me,
You want me to type the screen?
sure, if I type faster than I do.
You want that? Oh, no, ma'am.
That's just easier.
Yeah.
Okay. So, while she's doing that, I've got a couple other, I mean,
I'm not redlining it, I'm just gonna add it underneath here for simplicity. Mousy. Oh, I need your mouse.
yeah. This one does work. I don't like the meter.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna add it down here.
Okay, the subject of mailing this out to everybody. As is, this is, I think, 32 pages. The table of contents is 4 pages.
Is that front and back? 32 pages?
No,
60 pages?
It's 32 pages. 16 sheets
So
of
it
paper,
could be
front and back.
16 sheets of paper.
Right. Yeah, if I go in and I change the line spacing to, instead of 1.16, 1.0, it shrinks a bit. If I put it in 10-point font, it goes to 26 pages.
Or if you put it in 10-point, which is what your normal newspaper is, it will go down a lot more.
I think I put it in, it's in 12-point now.
Yeah, you can pop that down to 10, 5, or 10, and you'll be fine.
Well,
People have
But
trouble
that's what
reading
I'm
that.
saying is, I don't know, I looked in state law, I don't see any formatting guidelines on what you have to.
The state laws say that we have to mail out a physical copy in paper.
It says a copy of the proposed chart.
So
Doesn't have the
for,
word physical, but it's pretty well implied.
so for the cost of less than and reduced postage, we could send everybody a stinking thumb drive they can throw in their computer. Or we could send them a piece of paper with a QR code on it, which will allow them to call the charter up on their computer or on their phone.
Well, I suggested,
Assuming that everybody has that technology to do so. Yeah. And would be willing to mess with it.
Or you can have that and say, if you wish to have a physical copy, then I'll be more than happy to drive to their house and give them one.
I'm very concerned about, there have been moves made at the state level to try and get the right to, post it and send it by email, blah, 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 and none of them have passed. And I'm very concerned if we try and push the edge of the envelope and do some sort of something
Oh, it's something
alternative.
different, yes.
Something different that, we already know there are people who are extremely opposed to this charter. And I don't want to have an unnecessary fight over something that's not necessary.
The fact of the matter is you want people to read. Because if they see something that's in swim print, they're gonna get the immediate impression that you're trying to hide something and I don't have time to read this and I'm gonna vote against that.
I tell you what, I will read something from this more faster than a
We're
piece
not
of paper.
talking about you.
I know, I'm just saying there are a group of people who will read this. I'm 65 and
I get it, but
most of our younger voters would rather read electronic.
So state law says basically we need to send a
it's a copy. Send them a copy, send it to me.
yeah,
I'm just asking if there's anything that says we have to. And if we don't, then we have some options that we can, or we can ask the city to look at.
as I read the current state law, it says mail, meaning use the United States Postal Service to send a copy to every registered voter in town, which means you get one and your wife gets one at the same address.
So can you put a QR code on it? So that if they don't want to read the copy, they can get it electronically on their phone?
That's actually a great idea. I like that. So it's something that we should do. I don't think it doesn't get us around the expense of sending
No,
things.
but it, you know.
But
there's people
and we can also put a QR code on it if frequently asked questions. And that QR code will get you to frequently asked questions with facts about so they can have the actual charter on their phone, or they can go to a page or a document that has the frequently asked questions that Daryl's worked so hard to make sure we have and are ready to go. And
Right,
it's
no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
In fact, what I'm thinking is, I mean, Andy Messer has suggested several times, we have a joint meeting with the city council. And I think a joint meeting with the city council to talk about how to prepare this and distribute it to the
Right.
voters is maybe
You're
a good
also
idea.
You're also gonna have it on the city website, right? So they can download it. And put it on their computer.
It's already on, well,
I know,
the
but I'm
draft.
talking
has
about
been-
making sure they know about that when they get the hard copy.
Yeah, cause I'm assuming, and that's probably wrong, and that is, you don't just mail the charter. There's a cover letter of some form that
That goes.
that goes with it,
Right.
this describes, all right, what is this book that I've,
Why am I getting this?
Yeah, why am I getting it? And that's where the QR codes and everything, I would assume.
Just remember
Are gonna
that
be
most
put.
political advertising, which people will think this is, the only way that you make contact where people understand it is you make 3 points of contact. And if our only point of contact is sending this thing that looks like
I did.
an owner's manual, it's gonna be jettisoned. So we need to find ways to make it easy for people to want to read.
Yep.
And if they're paper and they go to the reading room and want to read, I don't care. But whatever, we give them many options to be, we give our neighbors many options to be.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is, first off, fit in readable font in a format that is easy to digest. So leave the table of contents in.
Yes.
I mean, I use that to navigate myself, so. Okay, well, that's good stuff.
Should we, not saying tonight, but should we put together a proposed cover letter to go that we give to the city council to send out with, I mean, a letter from the commission members telling our fellow citizens what this is, what they did, what we did, inviting them to the town hall, whatever, and directing them to the QR code with the references to the FAQs to let them know that this is coming from their fellow citizens.
That's a great idea, Carol. When can you send that to me?
I'll work on it too.
I would just caution that any letter goes with the proposed charter. It needs to be straight down the middle, just
Absolutely.
this is the charter, this is what we're putting forth. Why it's good, why it's bad, why it's just, because that might be considered.
Electioneering.
You got it,
Okay.
just the facts.
Well, would it be fair that that letter should highlight the basic changes from general law city to what we're proposing?
I can look and find some material that has not been considered for advertising. Yes.
But we are providing new concepts of initiative, referendum, and recall that are not available under general law. We are giving the mayor a vote. We are adding a council member.
Right. Any council,
It's just straight facts.
as long as it's facts and you're not. What do you do? This is the greatest thing since.
In place it.
Hours and hours of video available if you want to find out why we made these decisions.
Okay, let's see, David, what do you got?
Okay. This is the entire text that he had. And I guess the question is there anything in the original part that got dropped?
Well, the one thing I know we is not specifically addressed is the type of government.
The council manager.
Yeah. The council manager.
I agree.
If that would be one thing I'd probably put back in there.
And one question I have is, what does the Constitution of the United States of America have to do with the adoption of a home rule charter? Because that's not under the Constitution of the United States, it's only under the state of Texas.
Fair enough.
Am I splitting hairs?
You are, and we also have a
can.
constitution of the state of Texas.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got the Constitution of the state of Texas. That is the document that's allowing us to do this. I'm just finding things people are gonna pick at, and someone's gonna come back with the United States Constitution. Where is it in the Constitution of the United States that we're allowed to do this?
I mean, the authority to adopt home rule charter in Texas is provided by Article 11, Section 5, Texas Constitution, but certainly the United States Constitution limits what we can do here, so I think it's part of the process. I don't have a problem with blank.
Okay, then that's fine. I just.
You get no nitpicking from me on this one.
That's some nitpicking.
United, John.
Well, let's do a real quick thing here. I'm gonna say.
Six.
There are currently 6 references in the body of the document to federal government, federal laws, that kind of thing. So we don't need to have this part in here.
I disagree. If the state of Texas ever adopted laws that were, as they have certainly done in the past, that were then subsequently determined to be inconsistent with the law, with federal law and the federal constitution, those laws get booed. We
True.
still have federal preemption.
Yes, and having this in here doesn't change that one way or another.
No, but I do think I think that it is normal, maybe that's the right word, to reference the hierarchy of laws that things like this city charter are, the framework that makes these city charters available, legally available.
Well, 10 minutes ago, you were pretty okay with not having that in this first proposal.
You know,
I'm just trying to
I
be clear.
understand, but you know, once you say it, I do think you kind of have to reference that we are subject to kind of 2 sets of laws, and they don't always agree.
I think Fritz is ready to share something.
Mr. Price, do you have an input on that?
Input is, I'm not sure that the language that's in this preamble is not going to change
Anything?
whether the law applies or anything. Because there's a supremacy clause, I looked it up even. It's gonna apply regardless.
Right.
You put it in there, take it out. I don't have a strong opinion of it.
Okay. Well, let's see. We do we have this confer upon the city the power stated in this charter in the revision?
But we say through this charter, we grant.
Yeah.
We grant
Grant
the
the
city
city.
necessary, we don't have the word powers, oh, yeah, we do. Procedures. Well, we're saying by which are municipal powers, but where do those municipal powers come from? Cart and horse here.
We're acting under the Constitution and laws of the state of Texas and the United States of America.
Well, what we're doing, Fred, correct me if I'm wrong on this. We are granting municipal powers to the city.
The voters or the people, the citizens of Willow Park are doing this.
That's a thought. Through this charter, the citizens of Willow Park grant the city the authority necessary for self-government.
Mhm.
That's a good point.
How many spaces? There you go.
I'm hitting a little problem. Through this charter, the citizens grant municipal powers to the city and the authority necessary for self-government and
Take municipal powers out and just go with grant power to the city and then that way the municipal powers in the next sentence can be left and it won't be a problem. Unless someone has a better word for the use of the word power. Or grant, well, let's see, power is a little strong there.
I think you want municipal powers. You're gonna grant municipal powers to the
Second
city.
sentence there said by which are municipal,
I changed that word.
oh,
What about grant powers to the city, comma? Take out and, let me just slither.
and the
Powers to the city, comma, the authority necessary for self-government. And establish the structure and procedures by which municipal conduct. Conduct.
It's not really.
That's a little hard.
So, yeah, so
It's too long a sentence.
the verb through this chart, citizens.
I think you gotta have municipal powers to the city.
Yeah, grant municipal powers to the city, period. And then go with the next sentence.
Or grant municipal powers to the city, comma, including the authority necessary for self-government. And and then after self-government period, something like, we hereby establish the structure and procedures by which those municipal powers shall be exercised.
Yep. How that looks.
Those municipal powers instead of our municipal conduct.
Yes. It's not really, it's taking off different purpose there.
That second, I think we could take that second part out, grant the powers of the city, including the authority necessary for self-government, period, done. Delete the whole next sentence and go with reaffirm the principles. To me, that seems like a line that we don't need anymore.
Well, I'm kind of liking
I
to keep
kinda
this
like that.
concept in here.
I like
Highlighted.
that.
Then
You just say this charter ensures that citizens have the opportunity to have a stronger voice in government.
Just make it its own
That's great.
sentence,
Sorry,
make this its own sentence. This charter,
And get rid of after charter all the way up.
Or the structure and procedures set forth in this charter ensure
Yeah.
that the citizens have the opportunity.
okay, do this. Say that again, Carol, please.
The structure and procedures set forth in this charter
set forth in this charter.
then then delete down to ensures.
Delete to ensures.
Ensures that the citizens. No, that citizens, that's fine, that's fine. That citizens have the opportunity to have a stronger voice in their government. Yeah. Through this charter, the citizens grant powers to the city, including the authority necessary for self-structure procedures. Set forth in this charter, ensure that citizens have the opportunity to have a stronger voice in their government.
Where did you see anything?
Just that last line says have a stronger voice in their government
Right,
or have a stronger influence.
I like voice.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, because we had that. This provides an opportunity. It doesn't drag people out to the polls. They still have to do it voluntarily. Maybe it'll give them more incentive to do so.
I like that second graph a lot.
I still kind of think we need to say citizens grant municipal powers to the city. Third line up.
Municipal.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it doesn't, we don't want them to think that they're getting,
Stuff on the county or state.
we're not going crazy here.
Okay. I'm beginning to like it.
we're winning over Gene. Well,
You want to make it shorter, you can say the charter ensures that citizens have a stronger voice and take out the words opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
That's a more,
Mm.
that's a more
Direct.
direct statement.
opportunity.
In fact,
sorry.
the grammar check is already saying, take that,
Yeah.
have the opportunity to,
Just
just
say
take
that,
that out.
yeah, take out, ensure that citizens
Mhm.
take out, have the opportunity to and leave, have a stronger voice.
I see where you're saying. But I'm telling you, I
You don't want to mandate it, you want to have the option, correct?
Yeah, that was a word in there that I intentionally left, because it doesn't say they will have a stronger voice unless they choose to.
yeah.
How about this
It
charter
would be
makes
great
it
if we could mandate people have to go to the polls.
No, but what we can
But
say
it
in there
would
is
defeat the
the
purpose.
structures and procedures set forth in this charter provides the opportunity, it not ensures, but it provides the opportunity for citizens to have a stronger voice in their government.
That's good.
That's
I like
accurate.
that.
Yep.
I think it's provide, not provides.
Okay.
You think it's what?
Singular.
Provide, not provides, because it's structure and procedures.
The plural goes to the plural goes to the plural provide instead of provides.
Okay, good catch. Well, the opportunity for citizens to have,
Stronger voice.
provide the opportunity for citizens
To have
To
a
have a
stronger
stronger
voice.
voice.
There you go.
Yeah.
You just have an extra space.
Okay. That what we're going with?
My only thing was in the original preamble, Gene, I don't know if you wrote this or whatever, but it had, by our creator with certain God-given and unalienable rights, including the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I liked that part being in the preamble.
Which is the second paragraph.
It's in the second paragraph.
Right, so if you go down the second paragraph,
In there.
Inherent rights include life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Right, I'm saying that I just liked the by our creator with certain God-given and unalienable. Leading up to.
You can't go on quoting teacher.
Right. We may have to give him credit, writing credit.
Shall we make him an ex officio member of the commission?
Yes, we could, yes.
I missed that. Okay, somebody give me direction here.
Thomas as in Jefferson.
Is anyone
I am reading
Against
from
it.
behind on this one.
You see somebody about control it, because you're doing well.
And we're leaving in the second paragraph?
Well, we, oh,
add the highlighted, well, more than highlighted.
take all of this and replace the first paragraph and leave the second paragraph?
No.
From up,
See, it says we also affirm,
Dave,
Dave rewrote it down here, we affirm.
right,
So are we replacing the whole top with what's in red down below?
Yes.
But before you pooch out the stuff on top, what Gwendolyn is suggesting is we take endowed by our creator with certain God-given and unalienable rights.
right. And I need somebody wordsmithing for me here.
Okay, go up there and copy your certain God-given,
And down
And-
there.
that right there, copy the certain God-given and unalienable rights.
I think I just did.
Okay, we'll do it again. Okay, copy. Okay, now let's go down into the next paragraph and see where we're gonna put it.
Right in the second line. Somewhere in the we.
After the word possess. Put it in after possess, and then we're gonna have to mess around with what comes after that.
And then, what?
Possess.
Cause that's third line,
On the third line, possess.
fourth line in possess right
Right
there. Move your cursor over one more. There you go.
Oh, missed
Take
it.
out the I. There you go. Parent rights.
And then take out inherent rights at the very end of that, right before the paragraph, and you've got it.
There's a comma after rights, and then take out inherent rights, comma, and you're done.
Bingo.
So, we all good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that our new preamble?
Well, it will be. I mean, but I've got to do a couple of things here.
You throw down just one more second.
I'm sorry.
Go back down real quick.
Okay? Okay. So what I would do then is I would start here and go down to here. And hit delete.
Yep.
And we're all good, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what I need to do then is
Get rid of your.
here. And set. Still need to make that one change there.
Yeah.
Need to take all this stuff out of the header and footer.
Mhm.
So
Oh.
my action item will be to clean this thing up and make it basically say, no, first thing I'm gonna hit is save.
Yeah. Will you make sure that there's a hard return after the top of preamble and then start the sentence?
Who would like to make the motion to formally adopt this and propose sending it to the city council for placement on the ballot?
Well, I might.
Huh?
What I sent you like 2 months ago, which I know you love that, starting. The little, Jean sent it out to the commission for review, but it was a little like front page that was pretty that I made for the charter. I don't know if that needs to be included before we submit it to the council or whatever, but I
Okay,
just,
I'm with you. Okay,
Yeah.
so, let me. So what I put on the screen here is a cleaned kind of version that would retain the table of contents.
mhm.
I'd actually change it to like 1/2 inch margins. Saves a couple pages.
Yeah.
Okay. And take the header and footer out. No, actually leave a header in that says Home Rule Charter with a page number.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's the basic format that I'm thinking we should adopt. And then the text would look kind of like this.
How would it mark? By a date or version?
Well, I have been tracking the working versions that we have.
Right.
This will be the initial proposed home rule charter for the city of Laurel Park.
Okay.
Version or just final?
Final.
No, initial.
Just initial.
Gotta have data.
With today's date. And what you're approving, basically what you're approving tonight is the content of the charter following the table of contents. The table of contents is generated from that content.
Right.
Okay. It doesn't, table of content doesn't drive anything in the content.
But the other way around.
So what we put on it as a cover page. With the title, the names of everybody who's been working on this. Whatever logo we put on it, that is.
Yeah.
That is not necessarily part of it, although it would be what it would go out with it. But once it's put online, it may look different. It may reformat it once it goes online, as long as the content of the words is retained.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm stressing, I don't think that the form and format is not essential. It is the word content and how it is structured.
It's not essential, but you don't wanna look like a scrambled mess.
Oh, no.
Because then it won't seem credible.
And that's why I'm showing you this.
Okay.
Okay,
Pretty packed.
Yeah, that's really packed.
it is.
Spread it out, just.
But I would not do that.
So go back and just use the same form
Yeah.
and format that we've been
Yes.
using all.
Yeah.
It's easier on the eye.
Okay.
Yep.
Trying to be complete. Okay,
Carol, do either of you want to make the motion to adopt this to the city council?
I think that honor should go to Daryl because of all the work he has put into
Yes.
the drafting.
He's
He can't,
chairman,
'cause
he
he's
can
not,
make a
he
motion.
can't
to
make
do
a
that
motion.
himself.
Go ahead, co-chair.
No, I'm good.
Well, I make a motion to approve the home rule charter for the city of Willow Park, Texas. To be submitted to the council. At the February or January 27th. City council meeting. I don't know what else I need to add.
I second the motion.
okay. Did anybody actually capture the word string so we have it accurately?
We can go back and look at the, we can look at the tape.
Well, let's get it wrong, but everybody ought to know exactly what we're approving, this is most important.
Yep. Say it one more time. Okay, she has. What? Okay. Made a motion to approve
The initial
the initial.
home rule charter for the city of Willow Park, Texas. To be submitted or for submittal to the Willow Park City Council at their regular meeting on the 27th January.
2026.
2026.
Okay, somebody read it one more time just for confirmation, please.
I'll let the secretary do that. Thank you. Okay, Gerald's made a motion to approve the initial home rule charter. For to the city of Willow Park, to the. For submittal to.
What was it? Home rule charter of the city of Willow Park for submittal to the city council of Willow Park
Submittal,
on
yes.
January 27, 26.
Carol gave you the second.
Any discussion?
I'm proud to have been on this committee and I think everyone has done a wonderful job. And I'm sorry for the black eye that I put on this committee at the last town hall, but I think we are in a good position and I look forward to working with everybody to get this approved.
Dude, so I have the motion, we have second.
Yeah, I need to vote.
Now we can,
Like-
now we're in discussion.
Okay.
So now we can, Once discussion's done,
Gotcha.
then we can call the vote.
Yeah.
Call the vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Well. You answered all my questions. I think we've. Well. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Jane, you did a great job facilitating this. And the countless hours you spent painstakingly reading through every sentence to make sure that it was truly communicating what we were trying to say, but also checking against resolutions and state laws and things like that to make sure that we were complete and thorough. So I really appreciate all that hard work, because I know you did a ton.
And I'd like to thank Fritz.
Yes.
For Fritz. Not only on keeping us, trying to make sure that we stay within the confines of law, but also helping us know what best practice was and what normal practice is. That was extremely important and valuable to us. And I personally feel much better that I can tell my neighbors who ask about this, that we put together a document that is not just legally sufficient, but also reflects current best practice in the state of Texas. I think it's important to me, and I think it would be important to them as well.
I thank you, and I'm humble. And I have not had a bad time.
Good job.
Well, so I had misgivings at first, but by the third meeting, I was really happy you were plowing along with us.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so. And the mayor asked me if I could estimate how much effort you all have put into this over the last 5-6 months now. And I said, no, I can't even guess how much effort each of you have put in, but I know it's been a lot. And I think I'm really proud of what you all have come up with here. So thank you.
I have one last thing to say. I mean, we have fulfilled the commission of creating a charter, but I do not think we have fulfilled all of our duties, because I think now, between now and the time of the election, it's incumbent upon us to not just attend these town hall meetings, but somehow we need to find ways to approach our neighbors, speak to them about the charter, be a resource, be available. I would certainly be open to attending a joint meeting with the city council to discuss ways in which we can facilitate that. And I think that it would be a terrible waste of a lot of time and energy and resources if we didn't take it to the next step, which is trying to make sure that our fellow citizens are aware of the opportunity they are being given.
Good points. Okay.
I-
So there,
I was actually going to sort of pose that question generally. Members would be, we mentioned it earlier, discussed it earlier. Potentially, an Angie's suggestion, repeated suggestions,
right,
that you might have a joint meeting, commissioner. I think that
right.
help.
Okay, well,
I
I'm happy to
welcome that
discuss it
meeting.
with them too. In fact, I guess action items. So we're down to that point, aren't we? I have an action item. I have to clean up this document. I will send it out to everybody. I will ask you to read it line by line, sentence by sentence, word by word. And if I've missed anything, we have one last opportunity to say, oops, hey, gotta look at this. And if I don't hear from you, I will package it up and I will submit it to the council on January 27th.
You need any of us, sir?
I'll be there.
Y'all are welcome to be there. It's an open meeting.
Are we still constituted as a commission to where we have to be attended?
No.
Or does that matter?
I don't believe so, not at the city council.
Okay.
I think we should be there to put a face to the product.
Yeah. I don't think quorum has anything to do with us being in the same place together because we,
Are conducting business.
in fact, our business, once I submit it to the council, we have no, we can't change this once I submit.
Sure.
So, there we go.
Well,
I think that's correct.
I don't think there's anything that specific in law, and, you know, other than the deadline for calling the election. Of course, I think the draft finalized by that date,
Right. So
but. as
February
far
13th,
as
it's done.
If you submit to the council and they say, what about this, this and this? And that's why I think a joint meeting might be helpful. There might be little things that would. They have concerns. I'm not saying they do.
Well,
I have no idea.
I would think that the commission would be open to that.
Yeah.
But the
So
fuse
if it-
is pretty short to accommodate that.
Do you think that we should post a potential quorum for us to show up at the 27th meeting if we're all planning to? Or
I
is
think
it?
that would be a
Well,
good idea.
I understand. I don't think it would be of any value because there is nothing on the city agenda that would allow for joint communication. But we wouldn't be able to do
The
anything.
meeting on the 27th. Okay.
Right. So.
When would you be proposing to have a joint meeting?
Well, I can't do that unilaterally,
Well,
so,
oh, no, I understand, but that's the proposal on the table. When you do it, you can't really do it after the city council meeting, can you?
There's one more.
I suppose there's the, whatever, the 3rd of February, maybe?
I guess the concern would be if they're going to start accepting changes from the city council, then they postpone their decision on putting it on the ballot. What's that mean? Right?
Well, I'm gonna submit it to them on Tuesday. That's the first opportunity that we have to do that.
Correct.
Okay. They don't have to. I'm not sure what the right term is. Add it to the ballot for the May election on the 27th. They should have to do that by the 10th. Unless they called a special meeting between the 10th and the 13th. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a 2-week window in which a joint meeting could be established. And then there's the little pesky state law about basically you need 5 days prior notice to have a meeting. Because you need to post it, have 3 business days, and then you can have a day where you have the meeting. Okay, so
I
the
think
window's kind of short.
I think we need to get the mayor and the council or whoever establishes those meetings on the council side, since everything over there screwed up, and work out a day where we can have a joint meeting.
So I will I will have the final formatted document tomorrow. I will provide that to y'all. And I will provide it to the city secretary. And then the city staff can add that to the packet for the council members, send it to the council members. And if they have any feedback, we should be able to start getting it immediately. Now, that's all I can offer.
I thought we were gonna wait to get our last final comments. before we Sent them the document.
Pens down.
I mean,
Yeah.
anything we find that could be wrong. Edits.
Oh, yeah.
We have to do our edit first.
Honestly, I think at this point, what we would find would be
Commas in the wrong.
the commas in the
place,
wrong
spaces
place.
in the wrong
I don't
place.
mind sending this to them, this
Okay.
version to them.
Okay.
Right. Like I said, I'm asking you to look at it and I'm expecting to get nothing back.
Right. Another action item you had was for Carol to come up with a post slash letter from commission.
Right. And anybody else who wants to take a stab at it. Feel free.
So are we having a
But
meeting?
if you
next-
send something to me, I will send it to them and go from there. Do we need another meeting?
We don't have anything to say.
Right after Tuesday.
Yeah, let's see what happens on Tuesday.
Let's see what happens.
Okay, so at this point, I will declare that.
Motion to adjourn.
We may have input from city council, and get something from you guys. Somebody may bring something to my attention that could potentially be a showstopper, in which case I will notify you and we will determine by some means when and how to have another meeting. But at this point in time, I am not scheduling another meeting for the Wool Park Home Rule Charter Commission. Because the town halls don't count as meetings, they would be educational exercises. So again, thank you very much. Now, what did you say?
I think I said motion to adjourn.
Uh-huh.
Second.
Thank you all.
Yeah.